A man who lacks purpose is distracted by pleasure. And so I want to talk about how to get more aligned with your purpose, how to remove all the distractions. That way you could ultimately live the most fulfilling life possible. I was the dude who got distracted by everything. I had no vision, no guidance, no father figure. Dad passed away at 12 years old. First girlfriend left me for another dude. Pretty much in the gutter at 23, 24 years old, smoking weed, jerking off, crying in my mom's basement. That was me 10 years ago. That was me 10 years ago. Crazy to think. Couldn't talk to anybody, no goals, no ambitions, just wanted to get high, smoke blunts with my friends, play Call of Duty, commuted to community college high, go home, jerky, eat my pizza from my pizza delivery job, go the fuck to sleep, wake up, do it all over again. I went from that to amassing a following of over 1 million people on Instagram, 500K on YouTube, helping thousands of men, building a 7-figure business, going full sobriety, even a period of time of celibacy. Like I've gone on both extreme sides of it. In the Miami penthouse, so driving the Lambo with the Rolex, okay? I've gone on both sides of this thing, guys. What I can tell you is though, there's different levels to it. There's different levels to finding your purpose, to helping people, getting out of pain, having a bigger, greater reason to go after your goals, and then also getting distracted in all of the bullshit, getting lost in that stuff, because I spent years getting lost in those things, right? So first off, understand that everybody's gonna find their purpose at a different phase in their life. Some people find their purpose very easily. Cool, that's awesome. Other people like me, I didn't really tap into my purpose until almost 30 years old, and I feel like there's been different levels from 30 to 32 to 34. I'm about to be 35. I go to, in my opinion, greater and greater levels. I have a higher and higher purpose as I go on. So don't think that one day you're just gonna find your purpose and then suddenly you have it and you're just locked in on that for the rest of your life. Your purpose will change as you elevate to higher levels. There becomes greater reasons to do things and you have bigger reasons to go after your goals. But I wanna give you clarity on how to find your initial purpose in this process so you could have somewhat of a roadmap, somewhat of an idea of where you need to go, because I had the wrong idea with this. I thought one day I would find my purpose, and then now it's like finding the one. You don't just find your purpose, then just locked in on it. Your purpose will change over time. But if you're at very low levels right now, understand, typically your purpose is gonna be whatever pain that you overcame, whatever things that you were really drawn to, that you had to put in work to either overcome or to get really good at it. And I think at the lowest levels, it's really just getting out of pain and struggle. Like my first biggest goal was really to be a rapper when I was 19, 20, 21, 22. I really wanted to be a rapper so bad. Now I don't do any of that. I gave up on my biggest initial dream, and I had the potential to do it. But initially, I just wanted to be a rapper. I thought that was my purpose in the world. But if we were to look at it on a different scope, it's like, why did I want those things? Well, I really wanted the money. I thought that would be really cool to be famous. I could get paid to put out music. I could have women. I could have status. I would be cool. And it was something I was good at. It was something I was passionate about. I found myself liking putting on instrumentals, smoking weed, rapping, talking about my experiences. It was for me, it was an outlet, right? And I could get into a flow state by doing those things. I found myself drawn to that, so I explored it deeper and deeper and deeper. Now, that's not the greatest purpose, but at the lowest levels, like, that's really what it is. It's money, women, fame. For most dudes, money, women, fame. If you think about that, lowest levels, that's really what people want. And that's also why we get distracted, because that's at the lowest levels. And I'll explain the higher levels in just a minute, but that's what it initially is. Now, if you have too many distractions, you won't even be able to get out of those lowest levels, right? A dude who smokes too much and drinks too much and has just vices left and right, porn, weed, alcohol, bad food, toxic friends, doom scrolling, all this negativity going on in his life, it would be extremely hard for him to overcome that situation. We see a tiny percentage of people that do it, like a very 0.001% of select celebrities who make it out of that, primarily due to luck, a little bit of genetics. also a combination of some level of hard work, but it's also connections too. And we're only looking at a tiny percentage. What you don't realize is that the majority of the people that are at that level, that live that kind of a lifestyle, they don't get lucky. They don't go viral. They don't become famous that way. That's not the route that I want to teach you guys. I don't want you to live a life based off of luck, especially one that's extremely unfavored. Fuck trying to be a 0.00001% lucky ass dude. I'm going to show you the game plans that undeniably have success and become great. It's a different route. It's a different mindset. When you have so many distractions going on in your life, it will be very hard to really hit your goals because you won't be able to hit the level of productivity that you need to consistently to get out of that. Or it'll take you a very long time. Like it took me a very long time. It took me 10 years in self-development to get to this level. I don't think it needs to take that long. I really don't think it needs to take that long. I slowly got better. The second half of that decade wasn't as slow, but I think it could go even faster. I see dudes 23, 24, 25 crushing right now. Crushing. Even younger kids. It's kind of crazy. So the very first thing, guys, is understand what are the struggles that you have right now, man, in your own life. You got to remove those things. You got to remove those things. Before you can have a greater purpose of really helping other people, you can't do that until you've already put in enough work on yourself. And so the foundation is always the self-development journey. But let me explain, because when I wanted to be the rapper, although I was good enough and I put in enough work into the craft itself, I still smoked so much weed and I didn't work on the other pillars of my life. I didn't have my self-development routine dialed in. I didn't go out and push myself. I wasn't desensitized to putting myself out there to the world. I didn't have a high enough level of confidence. My diet, my physique wasn't dialed in. I wasn't confident with the way I looked or my communication or being able to put myself out there. And I hadn't put in enough work to build up my own self-talk. I didn't push the comfort zone. I stayed home in my mom's basement smoking the weed and making music. And I was good at doing that one thing, but I never got out of that level because of the self-talk and the lack of confidence. I gave up on my own dream because of the distractions. I utilized the distractions to create this escape world that allowed me to dodge going after my real dream. How many of you dudes have given up on a dream? You don't even realize you gave up on a dream. Like, I didn't even realize when I gave up on the dream, I didn't even realize I gave up on my purpose, my initial purpose, because I was so distracted that you just tell yourself a different story. We tell ourselves a completely different story and we just go to the next shiny object, and before you know it, it's gone. But I remember telling myself, damn, like, I guess we're actually quitting making the music, even though I was doing it for a couple of years. I was like, the justification was, well, yeah, we're going to move into making instrumentals now. We're going to make music now, and this could be a whole different lane. But really, I gave up on that shit. And then I gave up on it's like I went after this one thing, and I went after this just for a little bit, and then too much time had gone by, and I couldn't go back to being a rapper, and I gave up on my dream. But it was because of the distractions. Now, I haven't given up on my dream because I've done the steps that I'm about to tell you in the second half of this video. Right? I'm a lot more locked in now, and I can honestly say I have an even greater purpose. You need to remove the vices and dial in the work ethic and the discipline to get out of those lowest levels. Surrounding yourself with like-minded people can also push you up. Like, I look at my coaches, we were all at the dinner yesterday, and I was just thinking, man, if we could hang out as a team more consistently, these guys will be really bought into the process. You know why? Because they hang around me and it's a cool lifestyle and we're building something here. It gets you more bought in. So like-minded people, like if I was a rapper and I hung around other dudes who were a little bit more successful at rapping than me, I would have been so much more motivated. But I didn't, because of the vices and the bullshit. I hung out with the friends that were smoking the weed, doing the bullshit. And even in my recent new career over the last 5 years, like first couple years, I just got drunk and went out to the clubs and I got lost in that. And my business was not anywhere near as strong as what it is now. And my influence is not anywhere near as what it is now. The distractions, the drugs, the alcohol, the women, that shit fucked with me too in my own business. I did get a little bit lucky, and I'll admit that. Like, I did get a little bit lucky initially. I did a lot of things right, but there was a little bit of luck that got it off the ground for me. But I did get distracted. And I probably almost lost it at one point, a couple years back. I see a lot of other dudes in my initial niche that have fallen off, that haven't leveled up. There was dudes that I was following in pickup and dating. Even I don't even really affiliate as pickup and dating, dude. Technically, I am. But there's a disconnect because of my own evolution. But there was dudes I used to watch before I ever made a channel. And I'm going back looking at them now and I'm like, dude, where the fuck are you at, bro? Right? Because they don't have a greater purpose. It fizzles out at some point. If you don't evolve and go to higher levels, you can only stay stagnant for so long before it fizzles out. That's what I've noticed. So once you remove all the vices and stuff, and you've actually leveled up to some extent, now we're out of pain, right? And you can make it could be as a rapper, but like even the rappers, if I look at dudes who are high level rappers, most of these dudes, once they got the fame and the money, it no longer becomes about that. And now it's more about influencing a generation of people for the better. If I look at like the guys I used to idolize, J. Cole, or I like J. Cole, I like Russ's music, I like a lot of these people, but understand there's different elements to it. Like you could still go mainstream and make more viral type music, but there's a lot of dudes who I notice, in my opinion, the most woke artists, and this is not just for rapping. You could be a painter, you could be a business owner, you could run an ad agency. I don't care what the fuck that thing is, man. You could be you own an IT company. Doesn't matter what your purpose is. But the guys that I noticed that at the highest levels, it no longer becomes about the money, the fame, the women. It becomes about influencing other people. That's what I've noticed in my own journey too. Initially, it was for the pickup, it was for the women, it was for the reach and the validation and the virality and for the recognition. As I go higher and higher, I don't care about those things. I want to be positively impacting people for the betterment of humanity. I don't care if I get recognized. I want someone to come up and say, bro, you changed my life, bro. I started a channel now, bro. Right? Like the people I'm closest to, they have their own channels now. And I'm just seeing what they're going to be like in a couple of years. I need to go to higher levels so I can build them up below me. And that's a higher level. First level, getting out of pain. Just getting out of your own pain. Once you've gotten out of your own pain, you overcome that. Now you can help positively impact other people in that thing. That's what it is. Now you could either do that through content, like how I do it. You could do it through music, or some people are more towards arts. It's health, wealth, love, relationships, hobbies, and art. You know, like those are the things you could really be passionate about. But I would say for you guys, like before anything, you need clarity and you need to be able to work consistently towards something. That starts by removing all of the distractions, removing all of the vices, cutting that shit out. Then from there, you're gonna need to actually put in consistent work. I recommend you move towards the things that you're drawn to. I was always drawn to, initially it was music. At some point I gave that up and then I needed to get out of pain. So I went towards social skills. That's once I did that long enough, I got confident with that stuff, then I wanted to help other people with it. That was me. I overcame social confidence. Like I increased it, I leveled it up, and then I wanted to help other people with it. And then I got really good at that, and I've been helping people do that, and I still help people do that. But then I also recently got so fully sober, dialed in my work ethic, my discipline, my mindset, my self-talk, my content, my community, my leadership, my influence, and now I want to help people with that shit. That's what it is, man. But I notice as I go higher and higher, my evolution goes higher. The things I want to teach, in my opinion, they're at higher and higher frequencies. And when you have a greater purpose, you're less likely to want to do the distraction. That's what the whole theme of this video is about. A man without purpose is drawn to a lot of distractions and pleasure. A man with a greater purpose has more alignment to that thing. The more you can be tapped into that purpose, the more you have a reason to not give into the distraction. I can't smoke a blunt right now. What the fuck? I have a community beneath me, depending on me. Straight up, I cannot let them down at this point. Well, Kyle, what do I do if I don't have a community yet? I just explained it to you. If you're at lower levels, the very first thing you need to do is get out of the pain and the struggle and get the self-development dialed in. And then go after the things that you're drawn to right now. Explore those things. Your purpose can change over time as you continue to evolve, but you need to go after the things that you're drawn to. Get around those things. Surround yourself with people that are doing those things. Explore those things. Push the comfort zone in those areas. If it's social skills, go after that. If it's content, go after that. If it's an art form, go after that. If it's health or relationships or some type of engineering, go after that. Go after those things. You might need to actually still work a job though. Like I worked a full-time job while I was doing all of this shit. I wasn't just full-time rapper. I wasn't just full-time coach or YouTuber. I was always working at the same time. You need to do both. You can't do both if you're just smoking high, drunk, fucking off all the time, bro. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. But the more you understand the why behind it, the more you could develop that over time, the stronger the reason for you to go after the thing is. And as you build that up and up and up, it gets easier to remove the drugs, to remove the vices, to remove the distractions. The hardest part is when you're at the lowest level because you're so in the fucking weeds, man. And that's why a lot of what I preach on my channel is about vices. You guys hear me talk a lot about vices. My video editor's like, sometimes you get lost on the vices rants. It's important, man. It's important because without that, you're going to be so clouded, lacking the clarity that I gave up on my purpose initially, guys. I could have been the rapper. And initially it would have been the rapper to get the money, the fame, and the women. But I promise you that once I had a couple of those things, just like when I got the Lambo, just like when I got the penthouse, just when I got the 100K YouTube plaque, just when I hit the 100K month, first 100K month, just when I hit all of these things, when I hit the million on IG, when I hit all of these accolades, they don't mean anything after. And then you're like, okay, got the material thing, got the accomplishment thing, but what am I really doing this for? It always will come back to that. So it's something you're gonna build up over time, and as it goes to higher and higher levels, you'll get more dialed in with it, man. You'll get more dialed in with it. I could talk about this. It's a very dense topic, and I know there's a lot of dudes out there looking for their purpose. So I want to put out more content on this. I can't turn this into an hour-long video. But that's all for this one, guys. If you want help getting your self-development dialed in, you want to get a better understanding of your purpose, you want to put out more content, you want to push your social confidence, get your mindset, work ethic, discipline, routine, you want to get all that shit dialed in and really become top 1% of man, click the button down below. Check out the new coaching programs. That's all for this video, guys. It's Sunday, 6 a.m. I got to get back to work, man. I got a greater purpose that I got to get after today. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.